Hello and welcome everyone, I'm Madals and today I have got a really fun game. It was from the Team Story Cup and it is between Liquid and Quantic. So let's introduce these two players. Down in the bottom right position, it is the Red Zerg. He is one of my favourite Zerg players ever. I really like him, I like his play. It's HyuN. And his opponent spawning in the bottom left position, the blue Terran from Team Liquid. It's TaeJa. The map is going to be Whirlwind. They're both at the bottom. HyuN is going to scout the wrong way. He has got the little cape on the Overlord. I always like this. There's lots of different discussion about what this cape looks like. Whether the Overlords are just in their Halloween costumes. I reckon they're trying to be superheroes. That's my official opinion on it. Is that they put on like a Batman cape. They're running around. They're like, "Hey guys, look at me! I can fly!" And all the drones is like, "We know you can fly. You could fly before. Stop rubbing it in." And that must be really bad. The poor drones. They're just like, I wish I could morph into an Overlord. Just float around. Never have to deal with the violence of war. Just sit there looking at stuff, casually observing. That'd be quite nice for the lovely little Overlords. Now, in terms of strategy, TaeJa hasn't yet started his barracks, which is to be expected. He's not at a point where he'd want to. HyuN, he is about to start though his hatchery. Let's face it, a 15 hatch is the most common opening you are going to see in a ZvT. You'd be crazy not to do it. TaeJa looks like he's going to be going command center first as well. And that's fine. I would like to see him get it as part of the wall off. In just personal preference, I think that is a safer way to play it. It works quite nicely, and that is indeed what he's going to do. And I'm going to touch on, because now we're going to have a bit of a passive phase, why getting this command center as part of the wall off is a good move. For many of you, you will have seen TVZs on Whirlwind where a Zerg player has just blindly gone very aggressive. Gone for a pull before 10 supply, before the Overlord, and will run across. If you go command center first, which ideally you want to do on Whirlwind because it's a big map, if you put it down here, you're in massive problems. You won't have a wall off. Zerglings will come in, you will likely die, and it's that simple. However, put the command center as part of your wall off. The Zerglings can't get through here. Even if they start attacking, even though you don't have any Marines to deal with them, you just pull a couple of SCVs, repair up the wall, and be like, herp derp, good luck getting through here, bro. And that's fine. You get a Marine out and you deal with it. You survive. And actually the economical loss from just having to float that command center down isn't magnificent. It's not huge. It's something that you can easily justify with the additional safety that you're getting from that. And it still means that you're going to be getting a good number of your mules out soon. You're going to be in a good spot. We've also got from TaeJa, he's getting a gas up relatively early on, so he's going to be pumping that through. HyuN also got his gas quite soon, so he should be starting speed. What I'm keeping an eye out for is whether he pulls the drones, and he will indeed pull two, but leave one in there, so just going to have a trickle of Vespian coming through. These two still haven't scouted each other. They have no clue where they are. They're just like, okay, this is a big map, we have no clue. I think Whirlwind, this is actually a question, it's like one of those trivia things that I really probably should know, but it often comes up in discussions, especially in like, when we're out of game in like the lobby, for streams and things like WCS. Often the caster will sit there and we'll have these little trivia questions, like, I wonder if, like, what do you reckon to that? And one of the things which quite often comes up is Whirlwind the biggest map? Is it bigger than Antigua? I think it is. Like, I honestly do think it is bigger than Antigua. It's probably quite close, and I'm sure someone somewhere has done the maths on, like, the rush distances and all the different attack paths and how it works out. But just to me, just looking at it, it just seems massive, so tell me if someone knows in the comment section, or if there is like a Wikipedia article on like how big it is and things like that. Do let me know. If there isn't, someone should totally do that because it'd be awesome. And Whirlwind is a cool map. I like Whirlwind. It leaves a lot of fun. So this is really interesting by TaeJa. He's getting his third command center up super early, and he's getting it as part of actually a wall off at his natural. So that's even a more creative place to put it, which I really quite like. He doesn't have a second gas. He's just working off of one gas at the moment. He's going to start some reactor helium production speed, just finishing there for HyuN, which means that he's actually in quite a nice spot. He can go and take his third, and around the 6-minute mark is a nice time to get your third base there. Always expand away from your opponent, and this is the expansion you want anyway, because now you can sit units around here and be able to defend your natural and your third without too much hassle. drops are the only thing that HyuN does have to be slightly careful and cautious about, because you can get over from the main base quite quickly into the natural and also into your own main. So I think that actually putting some spore coolers down, or just at least keeping a good eye out and being aware of those drops, is a smart move. He's already going for some SimCity with this Rotor, ready to deal with the Hellions. There's only 2 Hellions on the field at the moment. 2 more are on their way, and the 5th and 6th one queued up in addition to that. So some commitment to this. The Hellions are going to try and get in, but will be forced back. HyuN does have 3 queens down, not the typical 4. He's getting up his 3rd gas now, so only got 1 gas up at the main. The 3rd base is going to get scouted, or should get scouted, has been scouted by those Hellions, and therefore TaeJa is just fully aware of what HyuN's going for. Double engineering bay, big indicator that this is going to be an infantry style. Will it be the biomine technique that we've seen lots of Terran players go for? It's really strong tanks. The reason biomine works quite nicely as opposed to something like tanks is because you can get a lot more of them out really quite quickly. They're a lower tech requirement, which gives you some really nice timing pushes through, and they also, it just seems to be quite popular. It works really effectively. Tanks, you've got to siege them up and you've got to get them in good positions, and they can get surrounded quite easily by Zerglings. They also have the minimum firing range, which can make things more awkward, and they're slightly slower as well to move around. But mines just allow you to get a bit more of a mobile army. But for the moment, we've just got the first 2 mines on their way out now, so this is definitely looking to be a biomine style. The 1-1 upgrades are being researched, as well as stim for the infantry. Meanwhile, for HyuN, he's getting down an evolution chamber, rather. Just a single evo for the moment, so not a big commitment to upgrades. He's got his Baning Nest and Lair also coming down, so he's probably going to get the +1 ground attack, melee attack upgrades. He's getting a macro hatch, and this macro hatch placement is actually quite interesting. He's building it at his 3rd base, which is not as common. Lots of Zerg players favour getting in the main, but there goes down the scan, sees the Lair timing, sees only 1 gas in the main. So let's take a look at the vision of TaeJa at the moment. He hasn't scouted the natural base, so he doesn't actually know how many gas HyuN's on. He can probably assume that it's going to be 3. Or a second macro hatch. Wow, HyuN is going so macro heavy. 2 macro hatches off of 3 bases. That's pretty hardcore. TaeJa, he's taking his 3rd base now, so just around the 9-minute 30 mark, he's going to get that up and running. The 1-1 upgrade's happily coming along. We've got the reactor and starport ready to start switching over, but yeah, this is just a second reactor, so that's going to go over to that one. Obviously, Factory's going to have his own reactor there. The mine count is still only at 4, all placed in a defensive position, so any Zerglings that try and run through would get taken out if they do stop. Of course, Zerglings, with a speed upgrade, if they run straight over a mine, actually get out of the firing range before the firing time, so the mines never trigger. But Roaches, of course, we see there's a mine up at this entrance, a small supply depot wall off, trying to come down there. HyuN, he's just slowly racking up units. He's got +1 carapace on its way, as well as centrifugal hooks. And the reason he's getting the carapace as opposed to getting down the melee attack is because he's incorporating quite a few roaches into his composition. So if you can only get 1 upgrade, you want the armor because it then benefits all of your ground units, as opposed to the attack, which would benefit either the roaches or the Zerglings and Banelings. So smart move there out of HyuN, just making sure that he's getting the most out of this. He's also pumping an awful lot of Zerglings. He's got roach speed about to kick in. Nice little roach ling push is going to be incoming. There's a drop on its way across the map at the same time. This is all piecing together quite nicely, but HyuN needs to make sure that he comes back in order to defend that. He's got a good overlord spread. Will he catch it? Will he? Yes, he will. Okay, so he now sees 100% that medevac is coming in. He's got quite a few Zerglings in production, a huge number of Banelings all starting to roll forward. This is a big push on its way forward. The Widow Mines will start to detonate, but sending a couple of Zerglings in first mean that they soak up most of the damage. In come the units. The supply depot wall wasn't down. A massive detonation goes on that bunker, but the Marauders soaking up a large amount of that Baneling hit. But more Banelings coming forward, more Roaches coming forward. Will HyuN be able to win this game here? TaeJa pulling back. He's trying to get into a nice little choke point where he minimizes the concave. But Banelings coming from behind into the SCV line. Big hits going down there. That is a lot of SCVs getting taken out. 22 workers, 24 workers killed by HyuN so far. That is a big hit. The Orbital Command is also taking a lot of damage. TaeJa has got reinforcements now, should be able to deal with this, but wow. That was a significant push. At the same time, though, we've got a drop in its way through here for TaeJa. He's managed to kill 11 workers, which has actually leveled things out quite nicely. 52 drones to 43 SCVs. Really big losses on both sides. But this game, it's not over. It's not over at all. And this is something that, well, we've got to look at this objectively now. HyuN, he's still committing to this aggression really quite heavily. SCV production is still ongoing, though, for TaeJa, and TaeJa has the advantage of having mules. Mules you cannot underestimate at how much they're going to bring that up, and actually if we take a look, TaeJa, he's still mining more minerals and equal gas as HyuN for the time being, but in come more Zerglings, more Banelings. They do get this round. Great little pickup there by TaeJa. He gets those units back, making sure the Banelings don't connect, buying himself some more times. The mine does detonate on quite a few Zerglings, but there is just so many Banelings. The Widow Mine is going to trigger on those roaches, which means the Marines will get the kill, but this push has once more got cleaned up. At the same time though, this drop trying to do more damage here. No more workers were managed to get killed though by TaeJa. 42 Zerglings on the way, plus 1 melee attack also getting research. That's up against the 1-1 upgrades here for TaeJa. TaeJa's third base is still critical in his ability to stay so comfortable in this game. This worked out nearly identical, so with mules the better income is available to TaeJa, but HyuN, he wants to commit more to this. These porcupine Zerglings on their way across, they do look so funny with these skins and speed, but now lots of medevacs. More medevacs actually than, oh no, a medevac per marine. That is a good ratio, but unfortunately will not be enough to help. We've got more mines coming down onto the field. The mine production is going quite solidly. We do have 5 mines down at this moment in time, but HyuN, he is busy getting down his spire. He wants to get some Mutalisk out. He wants to make sure that those drops are not being too effective, but yet another drop coming down in the natural base here. The Speedlings, they are going to just come straight through and try and put an end to this. Spore Crawler is now going to go down to make sure that this doesn't keep happening. HyuN can't afford to lose too many workers. He's lost half of that of his opponent, but due to having just constant production, TaeJa is only 10 workers behind, which is nothing really too bad, especially when he's got a nice army. He's got the supply advantage, so things looking quite comfortable for him. And as I've mentioned frequently, mules are also going to help level out all of their incomes. The Overseer is still there. We can see so many mines are down on the field, 3 mines at a time. Drilling Claws is getting research just to help them burrow up quickly, so TaeJa can start moving across the map. We've got the 4th base on its way down now for HyuN. This is getting to be a really exciting game. Constant aggression, but the medevac will now spot it, gets a good little look. There's also a medevac coming in towards the 3rd base, but it's really low on health. It's got to be so cautious. The Queen from the main could get pulled back there. Meanwhile, this 4th base will get forced to cancel. The Marines getting dropped out because knowing the medevac is going to go down. 2 Marines were in there as it died. The Queen gets sniped off. That's going to hurt the production, but there's a lot of macro hatches down. The council did go down at that 4th base. This is looking really good. The Spire just finishing now. We've got a handful of Zerglings and Banelings ready to start rolling in towards the 3rd of TaeJa, but there is that mine there, so the Zerglings can't all go in at once. You've got to be cautious. There is another drop coming down here at the 3rd base. Meanwhile, the Marines there are getting cleaned out, but in come a lot of Zerglings. That Widow Mine is about to detonate, but luckily not on the Banelings. That means the bunker gets taken down. There's still a lot of Banelings coming in here towards the SCVs. We get some big detonations there. That is another 8 workers killed, if my maths is good and my memory serves correctly. All looking really nice. This is the sort of thing HyuN needs to be doing. He's got more Zerglings coming through. He's only up at 62 drones though, so lower than you'd usually expect. No more drops are occurring, but there's some pushes through in the middle. A lot of medevacs there. A drop could potentially be coming up soon. Meanwhile, HyuN, he's getting ready to run in with more Zerglings, more Banelings. 15 Banelings are morphing here. There's a lot of Widow Mines though. A grand total of 14 mines down on the field. A Drilling Claws is done. Upgrades, we've got 2-2 up against 2-2, plus 1 vehicle and ship plating is also researched for TaeJa. He's getting the 3-3 upgrades plus 3 infantry weapons. It has just kicked in, giving him a small upgrade advantage moving into this push. HyuN, he's got to be cautious, but he's not going to be cautious. He is just going to go aggressive. Massive hit from that Widow Mine, getting 13 kills there. Really good with the Banelings. They are coming forward. They are just plowing straight into so many of these Marines. The Zerglings trying to kill as many SCVs as possible. The Banelings getting some good kills, but look at this push on its way forward up into the 3rd base of HyuN. We can see the 51 workers have been killed by HyuN so far. That means that TaeJa down to just 35 SCVs, but he has got a lot of mules prepared. He's also got a nice push here. The Banelings do get a couple of hits, but most of the units were picked up. There's so many mines, but most of them have been triggered. There's a few coming off cooldown as I speak, though. Good Baneling hits there. Gets so many of those Marines. Another good Baneling hit up to the side. HyuN desperate to try and hold on. He is behind quite heavily in supply, though. There's also this 4th base getting ready to take down for TaeJa. TaeJa, he's getting out yet more units. This, well, okay, lots of mines. The mines are all getting ready to detonate, though. Trying to trigger them on single Zerglings at a time. Really smart move here by HyuN, but again, another bow. Big Widow Mine hits there. This is exactly what TaeJa needs to do. HyuN has lost just under, well, actually, near precisely 8,000 more resources than his opponent, but he's hitting a 59 harvesters to 35. The 4th base, though, has just got taken for TaeJa. He's morphing that into a planetary fortress. Smart move because he's expanding towards his opponent. He's still putting on the pressure though. Mutalisks have now hit the field, but there are so many Marines here. All the Mutalisks are going to go down. That is not what you want at all. And there's the GG from HyuN. TaeJa playing that so well, dealing with so much aggression from HyuN throughout that game. Wow. Just wow. That game was incredible. I loved that. Seriously, I'm in that moment where I'm just like smiling innately to myself. I hope you all enjoyed that as much as I did. If you did, make sure you like the video, leave a cool comment, and of course subscribe. I get new games up daily, so I'll see each and every one of you tomorrow for yet another new cast. I'm Madals. Bye for now.